Mr. Ewell sitting down yonder?
Mr. Tate's testifying.
In your own words, Mr. Tate.
I was called.
Could you explain that to the jury, Mr. Tate?
I was called by Bob Ewell yonder one night.
Which night, sir?
It was the night of November 21st. I was just leaving my office to go home when Mr. Ewell came in. Very excited he was, and said to get out of his house quick. Some man had raped his girl.
Well, did you go?
Certainly. Got in the car and went out as fast as I could.
And what did you find?
Found her lying in the middle of the floor. In one room on the right as you go in. She was pretty well beat up. But I heaved to her feet and she washed her face in a bucket in the corner and she said she was all right. I asked her who hurt her and she said it was Tom Robinson. I asked her if he took advantage of her. She said yes, he did. So I went out to the Robinsons' house and I brought him back. She identified him as the one. So I took him in.
Thank you.
Any questions, Atticus?
Yes. Sheriff, you say that you didn't call a doctor.
No, sir.
Didn't call a doctor?
No, sir.
Why not?
Well, let me tell you why not, Mr. Finch. Something obviously happened. It was obvious something happened for sure.
And if it was obvious, you didn't call a doctor, nobody fetched her one, nobody sent her to one, or nobody carried her to one.
He's answered the question 3 times, Atticus. He didn't get the doctor.
Sorry, Judge, I was trying to clarify. Sheriff, you said that she had other injuries? In what way?
Well,
Sheriff, please just explain it to the jury.
she got banged up around the head. She had bruises on her arms. It happened about 30 minutes before.
Wait. How do you know about this?
Oh, sorry. I guess that's just what other people have been saying. Anyway, she was pretty mighty banged up. She had a black eye coming.
Wait, which side?
Let's see.
Wait, you can't remember which eye it was?
Her left.
Wait, was it her left facing you, or her left facing the same way you were facing?
Oh, you're right, Mr. Finch. It would be her right eye.
Also, did she have any other injuries?
Well, she had bruises around her arms, and there were definite finger marks around her gullet.
All around the neck, even at the back?
I would say so, Mr. Finch.
You would?
Yes, sir. Her throat was small. Anybody could get around it.
Thank you. May this witness be dismissed?
Yes. Robert E. Lee Ewell.
Please take a seat. State your name and spell out your last name, please.
Robert Ewell. E-U-L-E-E-W.
Thank you, Mr. Ewell. Now, can you please explain to us what happened on the night of November 21st in your own words, please?
Well, the night of November 21, I was coming in from the woods with a load of kindling. And just as I got to the fence, I heard Mayella screaming like a hog stuck in the house. Mayella was raising this holy racket, so I dropped my load and run as fast as I could. But I run into the fence, but when I got tangled up and I got out of it, I run up to the window and I seen that man rape my daughter. Mr. Ewell, did you see the defendant having sexual intercourse with your daughter? Yes, I did.
And did you have a clear view of the room?
Yes, sir.
What did you do when you saw the defendant?
Well, I run around the house to get in, but he ran out the front door just ahead of me. I saw who he was, all right, but I was too distracted about Mayella to run after him. I ran in the house and she was lying on the floor squalling.
And what did you do after that?
Why, I run for a tape quick as I could. I know who it was, all right. Lived down yonder in that nest. Past the house every day.
Thank you, Mr. Ewell. Mr. Ewell, may I ask you a question or two?
Yes, sir.
Folks were doing a lot of running that night. Let's see. You say you ran to the house. You say you ran to the window. You say you ran inside the house to Mayella and ran outside the house to Hecate. Did you, during all of this running, run for a doctor?
Had no need to. I seen what happened.
But there's one thing I don't understand. Weren't you concerned for Mayella's condition?
I most positively was. I seen who done it.
No, I mean her physical condition. Did you not think that the nature of her injuries warranted for immediate medical attention?
I never thought of it. I had never called a doctor to anything in my life. And if I had, it would have cost me $5.
You were in the courtroom when Mr. Tate testified, correct?
Yes.
And he said that Mayella's right eye was blackened. Am I correct again?
Oh yeah, I hold with everything Tate said.
Mr. Ewell, can you read and write? Objection, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see. But make sure we see Mr. Atticus. Overruled.
Judge, if you allow this question plus another one, you will see why. I read again. Can you read and write?
I most positively can.
And will you, for the jury, write your name on this piece of paper, please?
I most positively will. How do you think I sign my relief checks?
Clearly now, so the jury can see. Thank you.
You are left-handed, Mr. Ewell. I most positively am not. I can use one hand as good as the other.
Thank you, Mr. Ewell. Now may this witness be dismissed. Thank you. Good evening, Miss Mayella. Now, where were you at dusk on the evening of November 21st?
On the porch.
Which porch?
April 1, the front porch.
And what were you doing on the porch?
Nothing.
Now, just tell us what happened. You can do that, right?
Well, I was on the porch, and Papa had left an old chipper for me to bust up for kindling, and I wasn't feeling mighty strong, and he came by.
Who is he?
That man yonder, Robinson.
Then what happened?
I say, come here, mister, and bust up this old chip rope for me. I got a nickel for you. He could have done it easy enough, so he come in the yard, and I went inside the house to grab him a nickel. And before I knew it, was on me. He'd run up behind me, he did. He cussing and saying dirt, half fought and hollered, but he hit me again and again. He chucked me to the floor and choked me and took advantage of me.
Did you scream and fight back?
Reckon I did. I fought with all my worth.
Then what happened?
I can't remember much, but I remember Papa in the corner of the room hollering, "Who done this? Who done this?" And then I think I fainted, and next thing I knew, Mr. Tate was helping me up to the water bucket.
You say you fought him off as hard as you could?
I did.
That's all the time for now. But you stay there, because I believe Big Bad Mr. Finch has a few questions for you. Miss Mayella, I won't try to scare you for a while. Not yet. But let's get acquainted. How old are you?
Said I was 19.
A 19-year-old girl like you must have friends. Who are your friends?
Friends.
Just ordinary boys and girls around your age that probably live near you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Finch?
Miss Mayella, do you love your father?
What do you mean, love?
I mean, is he good to you? Is he easy to get along with?
He's tolerable, except when
Except when?
nothing.
Except when he's drunk? Does he ever go after you?
How do you mean?
When he's rotten, does he ever beat you?
Answer the question, Miss Mayella.
My pa never touched a hair in my life. He never touched me.
Alright, we've had a good visit, Miss Mayella. Now, you say that you invited Tom Robinson onto this property to chop up a, what is it?
A shift robe, an old dresser with drawers on the side.
Was this the first time you asked him to come inside the fence?
Yes, it was.
Alright, now to what happened. You say that when you turned around, he was right behind you?
That's right.
He got you around the neck, cussing and saying dirt. Is that right?
Certainly was.
Miss Mayella, you testified that the defendant hit you and beat you. Will you identify this man?
It's that man yonder.
Tom, stand up. Let Miss Mayella have a good, long look at you. Is this the man, Miss Mayella?
He most certainly is.
How?
I don't know how. I said it happened not so fast.
Now, let's consider this calmly. Objection, Your Honor. This attorney is not irrelevant, but he was browbeating my witness.
Oh, sit down, Horace. He's doing nothing of the sort. If anything, the witness is browbeating Atticus.
Thank you. Now, he blackened your right eye with his left fist.
I ducked and glanced.
You are becoming suddenly clear on this point. Didn't you say you couldn't remember before?
I said he hit me.
All right. So he hit you, he beat you, and then he raped you?
He most certainly did.
And during all this, weren't you screaming?
I was.
Then why didn't the other children hear your screaming? Where were they? At the dump? Why didn't your screaming make them come running? Or was it until your father appeared in the window when you started screaming? Is that it? Did you scream at your father instead of Tom Robinson? Who beat you up? Tom Robinson or your father? Miss Mayella, would you like to say something to the jury?
I got something to say, and not gonna say no more. That man yonder took advantage of me, and you fine fancy gentlemen don't do nothing about it, then you are all yellow stinking cowards, blood you, your fine fancy ass don't come to nothing, your mammy and Miss May Ellerin, don't come to nothing, Mr. Finch.
Good evening, Mr. Robinson. Are you acquainted with a Miss Mayella Violet Ewell?
Yes, sir. I pass by her place going to and from the field every day.
Going to and from work? Is there any other way to go to work?
No, sir. None I know of.
Did Miss Mayella ever talk to you on these occasions?
Why, yes, sir. I tip my hat when I come by, and one day she asked me to bust up a shift robe for her.
When did she ask to chop up this shipper robe?
It was way last spring. I remember because it was chopping season, and I had my hoe with me.
Were there any other occasions where you went on the Ewell residence?
Yes, sir.
And when would you enter the Ewell residence?
She called me in, sir. Seemed like every time I passed by yonder, she'd have some little something for me to do.
Where were the children?
They were always around. Some of them would watch me work, and some of them would sit in the window.
And would you ever step foot in the Ewell residence without an express invite from one of the family members?
No, sir, Mr. Finch. I never did. I wouldn't do that, sir.
Tom, what happened to you on the night of November 21st?
Well, I was going home that evening, as usual, and I passed by the Yule place, and Miss Mayella was sitting on the porch, and she motioned me to come inside, and I said, Miss Mayella, this door is all right. The hinges were all right.
I understand you, Tom. Go on.
Well, I said something like, I best be going. I can't do nothing for you. And she said, oh, yes, I could. And I asked her what, and she said I could stand on top of the chair and get the box on top of the shift robe for her.
Not the same shift robe as before?
No, sir. So I did what she asked me to do. And the next thing I knew, she grabbed my legs, Mr. Finch.
And what happened after that chair turned over?
She hugged me. She hugged me around the waist.
What did she do after that?
She reached up and kissed me. Beside my cheek. Says she never kissed a grown man before. And might as well kiss a grown man like me. Says what her papa do to her don't count. And I say, Miss Mayella, let me out of here. But she had her back to the door, And I say, let me pass. But just when I say it, Mr. Yule yonder hollered through the window.
And what did he say?
He say, you goddamn whore, I'm kill ya.
And who did he say it to?
He was looking and talking at Miss Mayella.
Tom, did you rape or harm Miss Mayella?
I did not, sir.
Thank you, Tom. Robinson, you're pretty good at busting up ship ropes and kindling with one hand.
Yes, sir, I reckon so.
And you had your eye on Mayella for a while now, hadn't you?
No, sir, I never looked at her.
Then you were mighty polite to do some chopping and hauling for her boy.
I just wanted to be helpful, sir.
Seems like you're a pretty nice person. Did all of this for not one penny?
Yes, sir. I felt like sorry for Miss.
You felt sorry for her? You felt sorry for her?
Gal, take Dilla. He's crying and he can't stop.
Now, you went by the house on November 21st, and she asked you to chop up a shipper rope.
No, sir.
Are you denying that she ever asked you to come by?
No, sir. She asked me to come inside and help her with something.
Didn't Mr. Yule run you off the property?
I got out of there as soon as I could.
You're being very candid about this. Why did you run so fast?
I was straight scared, sir.
Thank you, Judge. May this witness be dismissed.
How long's he been at it? He's just gone over the evidence, and we're gonna win, Scout. I don't know how we can't.
Did Mr. Gilmore?
Shh, hush now. Nothing new. Just the usual.
Any closing words, Atticus?
Yes. To begin with, this case should never have come to trial. The state has not produced one iota of medical evidence that the crime Tom Robinson is charged with ever happened. It has relied instead upon the two testimonies of the witnesses, who's been seriously called out on cross-examination, but has also been flatly contradicted by the defendant. Now, there is circumstantial evidence that indicates that Mayella Yule was beaten savagely by someone who led almost exclusively with his left. And Tom Robinson now sits before you, having taken the oath with the only good hand he possesses, his right. I feel nothing but pity in my heart for the chief witness for the state. She is a victim of cruel poverty and ignorance. Now, I say guilt, gentlemen, because it was guilt that motivated her. She's committed no crime, but she's merely broken a time-honored and rigid code in our society. A code so severe that whoever breaks it is hounded as unfit to live with. She must destroy the evidence to her offense. But what was the evidence to her offense? Tom Robinson, a human being. She must put away Tom Robinson. Tom Robinson was to her a daily reminder of what she's done. And what did she do? She tempted a Negro. She's white, and she tempted a Negro. She did something that in our society is so unspeakable. She kissed a black man. So, a quiet, humble, respectable Negro who has had the unmitigated temerity to feel sorry for a white woman has had to put his word against two white people's. The defendant is not guilty, but someone in this courtroom today is. In our country, our courts are the great levelers. In our courts, all men are created equal. That is a working, living reality. And so, gentlemen, I am confident that you will review without passion the evidence that you have heard, come to a decision, and restore this man back to his family. In the name of God, do your duty. In the name of God, believe Tom Robinson.
Guilty. 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 Come on.